Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, hey.
Welcome to Testimonial Saturday. I know a lot of you guys are still sleeping on in today. I would be too, but honey, I don't know that God just don't allow me to do things like that. But I'm just listen, I'm glad to just be up. Let me throw
Amen
this
to
link
that,
in
girl.
here because
Amen.
I want people to have this link. Okay. And of course, we really can't share outside the group until this is over. And then I'll just share the link outside the group so other people can hear about this testimony. So, anyway, you guys, for all of those who do not know me, my name is Coach Venus Chandler. I am a certified life coach, my niche being in trauma recovery. I assist a lot of different women in getting their lives back on track, all that great stuff. I am a number one best-selling international author.
Yeah.
I actually have a brand new book dropping at the end of this month. It's called Silent No More, My Story, My Truth. It is an anthology of 12 women, 12 powerful women that come together and decided to talk about their truth, okay? I'm also a serial entrepreneur. I have several businesses. One business being a printing business that I share with my husband. Is we do all kinds of things: shirts, hats, totes, all kinds of good stuff. But my baby, my special baby, is Kensuchi Transformation Life Coaching Services, and it has several legs to it. One of those being an academy. I actually put a link in the thread so that you guys can actually go in and take a very free course to find out if you should hire a life coach, right? Also, I have what's called KTE, that is Kensuchi Transformation Enterprises. That is my not-for-profit, and that, my dear, is going. We're going to be giving more information on that in weeks to come. So. Today is Testimonial Saturday, and what we've decided to do is create this platform for those my coachees that have actually benefited from my coaching, and they have had breakthroughs. And I'm telling you, and listen, okay, they have set it off and told the world they are here and they ain't going nowhere else. Anybody who feel like that, they even have a testimony, even if you have another coach and you feel like you have a testimony and think that you want to come on Testimonial Saturdays, we're going to do this once a month. We're not going to even pick a first Thursday or second Saturday or none of that stuff. It is just going to be at random, right? Because testimonies are usually at random. People don't say, okay, on the third Saturday of the month, I'm going to go in. There's going to be a testimony. No, child, we're going to go with it, okay? We are going to go with it. So, listen, I want to introduce you guys today to my boo thing, Miss Anya Lovis. She is my sissy poo girl, okay? I love her to death. She is actually one of my coachees. I didn't even know I was coaching, right, child? And then all of a sudden I just was all the way in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but she is here to talk about her testimony, and so I want to just introduce to you guys Miss Anya Lovis. Hey, boo. Hey.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, healers. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. So Anya, we are here today. We're going to talk about the benefits of coaching, but what I want to know, I want to hear your testimony. I want to know, what was it that you got out of coaching? What was it?
Yes.
First of
Okay.
all, what made you know that you needed to seek somebody outside yourself? Because you smart, girl. You understand a lot of things. You
Mhm.
understand how to go to YouTube University and all that good
Right.
stuff. But what was it that you said that, listen, I really need to talk to somebody?
Right. Well, because it's like what you said, I'm pretty intelligent, I'm formally educated, and I'm very knowledgeable. I actually seek knowledge and information. But what I've learned is I'm 56 years old and
Oh
I've been
wow. Hmm.
divorced 3 times. And I realized that just having the knowledge or information was not helping me. I am a process person and I need like some absolutes, some checklists. I need something to do to in order to execute. And
Yeah.
so with all the books that I've read, all the counseling I've gone to, I never really got what specifically to do to get out of the rut or my repeated pattern.
Mm.
Pretty much, it pretty much have said the same thing, and it's good knowledge, it's good information, but what do I need to do? And no one up until now, with all due respect to the therapists and counselors I've paid, other friends, family members, no, it wasn't until talking to my best friend, Catherine Francis, talking to you, and then more specifically, listening to your coffee chats.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just say this: I'm a girlfriend. We like sisters actually,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna support my sister. So I never, when I tell you my testimony, I never felt that I fit in the category of experiencing childhood trauma. So I was tuning in to coffee chats for literal support.
Yes.
You're my girlfriend. I'm going to support you. I do have questions and all that type of stuff, but I never put myself in the category of being traumatized as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it wasn't until I started listening to these particular coffee chats that I was like, wait a minute. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have experienced some stuff. Now, it wasn't necessarily physical abuse. I mean, my parents did spank us. I mean, you know, who didn't?
Right.
But we weren't treated like an Antoine Fisher. You know,
Right.
it wasn't it. There was my trauma was emotional and physical and verbal abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not realize how that affected me up until now. And again, I'm 56 years old. So it wasn't until I started having these conversations and listening to your coffee chats that I started putting this puzzle together. And I've always known that I've had some issues, but I never knew how to get through those issues. So
Wow.
what I discovered is this is the testimony. This is the not really a confession, but this is how it all came about. What I recognize, I'm formally educated. I have several degrees. I have several certifications. I've gone to school forever. And what I come to realize is I have been using academics and sex to fulfill the sense of abandonment from my parents.
Uh-huh.
So my father was a pimp
Mm-hmm.
and my mother was a lady of the evening, and they were not emotionally connected to us.
Mm-hmm.
And with me having the character and personality type that I do, I always felt, apparently looking back, I was a very anxious child. So I needed to be physically held and verbally told that everything was going to be okay, because we moved here, there, and everywhere. We moved with people. We had older cousins taking care of us, but we never, everywhere we went, it was a different set of rules for the house where we live, because we live with people. So I became anxious: is, do I do this, do I do that? So I became a perfectionist of not wanting to displease people, because I didn't want us to get put out.
Right.
So um when I'm going to school, I realized I was good in academics and I got accolades and praised.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to stay at school, because at home there was a bunch of chaos and drama.
Mm-hmm.
When I got old enough to recognize what boys and girls did, or male and females, I started using that having sex and being promiscuous, starting at a very young age. It wasn't and I want to make clear, it wasn't the orgasms, because that wasn't happening either. It was just the physical comfort that the man would give me. And so I gave him what he wanted, and
Mm-hmm.
he what I wanted. What I didn't recognize is those things are so temporary.
Yeah.
So I continued to do it. It was my addiction was to the sex and the academics, because those things would give me the fulfilling fulfill the emptiness that I felt being abandoned from my parents.
Right.
My parents were emotionally, physically, and verbally
Mm-hmm.
checked out.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't mean, and I'm gonna just say this: my mother was, again, this was not an Antoine Fisher type of thing.
Yeah.
We were not put in no basement. We weren't held upside down. It was none of that.
Right.
We got spankings and whooped with extension cords and switches like everybody else. That was average.
Right.
But my parents just was not emotionally there. They were checked out doing their own thing. And because I'm the anxious one out the five of us, or the I'm very highly sensitive, with them not being there to tell us that when we leave here, we're going to be okay. It wasn't that. It was like, pack your things, we need to move.
Right. Right.
No coming talking to us as a group and saying, look, we got to move again. Yeah, this, yeah, that. It was like, we came home from school one day. I was in junior high, and literally all of us were walking down the street after we got off the bus. It was a neighborhood full of us, and and our house was the first house that you would pass.
Right.
And also all the kids getting off the bus saw our house boarded up, and all of us just standing there looking like, we don't live here anymore. Where is our mom? And there was a note on the door for us to go down to my grandmother's house. But we weren't called at school in the office and told this or that. We literally just got off the school bus and our house was like boarded up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All our stuff was in there. It was crazy. So it was just, I recognized that I was highly emotional, very sensitive, but I didn't recognize until recently, and recently meaning like less than 2 weeks ago, that I was using academics and using sex to fulfill that void that I was missing from my parents.
But what triggered that? What was it with the coaching that triggered you to really say, oh wow?
When your guest Honey, I think that's her name, Honey.
Yes.
When she started explaining the definition of what trauma is.
Exactly.
Not traditional, physically getting beat or you just getting verbally, dogged out. When she went down and explained what trauma is and what it looks like, a light went off and I said, oh, wait a minute.
Right.
Because I always thought, trauma was getting physically beat down, locked in the basement, getting fed, poison food. I don't know, just the stereotypical stuff. But when she started explaining that, and in that particular coffee chat, that's when the light went off. And I was like, wow. So the conversations between you and I, and these started off being girlfriend conversations, not necessarily, but I was having a conversation with you, but your expertise kicked in and I didn't even realize it. I was just talking and you started asking these questions.
Yeah.
Made me go deeper. And before I knew it, I was like, oh my God. So this is what I've been doing in lieu of this. And you said, there it is. And that's when I realized what I was doing.
Absolutely. And earlier you was talking about ruts, being in a rut, and then these repeated patterns. A lot of women, and let me just say this. I'm sure men go through this too, but my ministry is women. I speak their language. I was assigned to you guys. I am assigned to men in a certain sense, but I'm assigned to you guys. So when we talk about this rut and these repeated patterns, there are women who is actually repeating these patterns. They don't even realize that they're sitting here repeating these patterns, and then every time they get to that point, they're like, well, I just don't understand. Why do I keep coming back to this? Well, you keep coming back to this because it's that rut that you're living in. You choose to live there. You choose to live there because you don't have to be there, right? Now, let me just take that back. Now I want to take it back. Let me just rephrase that. I don't want to say that you choose to be there, but I feel like when you realize there's an issue, it is your responsibility to find a way to come up out of that rut. Period.
I absolutely agree. And in your counseling that you have an individual has to be ready. And one of the things with Kisuchi, and particularly you, is that you not only help an individual recognize how things are connected and why we continue to repeat these patterns, which is really good once you know that you can move forward, but you also give them a game plan as to how to get through it and how to
Absolutely.
not continue that behavior. Because now for me, now that I finally put the puzzle pieces together and recognize I've been using sex and I've been using academics as a in lieu of my parents, and both of my parents have passed away. So there's no going to my parents and having a conversation. And let me just say this, I am not that person or that child that continues to throw my parents under the bus for
Right.
their poor parenting. My parents had poor parenting. I
Right.
mean, hurt recognizes hurt, you know.
Right.
So it did stem from my childhood, but I'm not the one to blame my parents. My
Right.
mom reconciled and had a very wonderful, loving relationship before she passed away. My father and I never reconciled, but again, I'm not holding him accountable for my healing. I understand
Yes.
where it comes from now. So
Yes.
now that I know that I was doing that, now I clearly am very capable and have been able to cut ties
Yes.
because
Yeah.
now I know where it stems from. Now I know my urge to want to be physically comforted by a man is only because I didn't get that from my father.
Absolutely.
So now I don't have to use that as a scapegoat. I wasn't getting much from it
Yeah.
anyways. So now, you know, and even though my body still does what it does, I know that, okay, this is only because of this right here.
Exactly.
So now I know how to set boundaries,
Exactly.
and not just with male companions, but with girlfriends, with
Yes.
family members, with
Yes.
my kids,
Yes.
because I wasn't setting boundaries. I'm a
Yes.
people pleaser.
Yes. Yes.
I am definitely, I used to be called two-faced when I was younger because, and I was,
Yeah.
but what I was trying to do was not make big deals out of stuff because I wanted people to get along because
Right.
I didn't know how to lie or finesse well enough, but I remember my objective being to want people just to get along.
Hmm.
So I would exaggerate things. I would say, no, that person didn't say that,
Yeah.
or something like that. And it didn't serve me well. I finally figured out, you know, I can't be lying just to keep people together and make
Right.
everybody by yeah, you know. So I have learned to not do that as well. I have to learn how to set boundaries
Right.
and
Right.
choose my love to.
Right. And you know, boundaries is big. And I'm gonna tell you, like most of my clients that I have, that is the biggest thing that we talk about because if you do not have boundaries, like say for instance, I have this one client and she was like, I have an anger issue. I was like, you don't have an anger issue, babe. I said, you have a boundary issue.
Mm,
Because my thing is this, if you set boundaries with people, then you don't have to worry about them being able to come in close and doing things to you that you don't like. You have to, yeah.
yeah,
So,
but if setting boundaries, you're exactly right. But when we set them, we need to know that we can hold them because I know what boundaries are, and I had
absolutely.
boundaries before, but because of my weakness, because I have been doing using sex and academics
Yeah,
so long, it became innate. If
of
I may,
course.
it became just a part of who I was. I would by default just default to those things, even
Yeah,
though I knew I needed to set boundaries. So the idea, in order to, when you set the boundaries, you need to be confident or set parameters up in place to where you yourself won't go past those boundaries. Because again,
right,
knowledge,
right.
telling boundaries is knowledge, it's information. But
Yes,
if you don't have the wherewithal within you, you're going to bypass, you're going to just ignore those boundaries over and over. And that's what I did.
right.
If
Well, absolutely. Well, the thing is that the reason you do that is because by nature, our flesh want to go back to what's comfortable.
yes.
Because where it's comfortable, there's always a payoff that's going
Yeah,
on.
we want to take the path of least resistance. Absolutely.
Exactly. There's always a payoff that's going on. The
Oh,
payoff is that I get to feel comfortable, right?
yeah.
While whatever. But my thing is this, when you set a boundary, I would not be that. See, to me, I always tell people to start off small. start off very small and sort of kind of work your way up, because setting boundaries is just like trying to build muscle, right? You know, you go to the gym, and over time, you don't go to the gym one day and pump iron for an hour, and next thing you walk out of the gym and you a brick house. It don't happen like that. You have to pump that iron on a regular basis, and then you have to have a routine in place, right? And then there's boundaries too when you pump in iron and all
Yes.
that good stuff. And then over a period of time, you start seeing that muscle building, and next thing you know, you fine as wine, right? So that's just what setting boundaries is all about, is starting small, and then, you know, working your way up. You want to start small because you want to make sure it's a boundary that you're going to be able to stick to. Now let me tell you just a little bit about my boundary. When I learned boundaries, I tested it out on my kids, because I was sick and tired of being used and abused, not only by them, but by friends, family, everybody, right? I was sick of it. And I didn't start off small. I just jumped all the way in the pool. And when I did that, it created a big old splash, and it severed relationships between me and my children, family, friends, where I probably should have started off small and worked my way up. That way it gets, because see, the thing is that when a person is so used to treating you a certain way, right? And then you say, okay, now stop. They like, well, what's wrong with you? They not used to that. So when you make them stop abruptly, it's almost as though like it's like some type of resistance there. They don't understand that. It's a shock. They like, you know, and it pisses people off. So I
Yeah.
think that if you do it small, start off small, work your way up, and you know, I think
Well, what I've been doing is I've taken your advice and did just that. I mean, again, being under your tutelage or your counseling has definitely benefited me in the sense of you have not just spewed information and knowledge, you actually have given me actual exercises to do.
yeah.
And so one of
Yeah,
those things is, again, not just setting the boundaries, but who you're setting the boundaries with and how to go about doing it. So one of your
absolutely.
me was to say no,
Right.
because I'm always accommodating,
Yep.
because I've been doing this for so long. When
Mhm.
somebody asks me to do something or for something, my default is okay. Literally, I mean, before I even think about the price of what I'm
Yeah.
being asked,
Yeah.
I default to yes. So what I've done is I've taken 10 seconds
Mhm.
and I've analyzed what that request is and how it's going to play out for me. Or
Mhm.
I'll tell somebody like today, after this conversation, I'm going to call a relative and say that I have some other things that I need to do and I will not be able to accommodate his needs today. You
Absolutely.
know, but before I would literally, with all due respect, ask myself out just to accommodate another person. And it's just like, I've got to stop this
Right.
because it's not doing me a just service to
Mhm.
put myself to the side. Well, another thing that I discovered is I have been attracting men in my life that have been reflecting how I feel about myself.
Absolutely.
When
Yes.
I look back on, and when it was explained to me, it was because I initially didn't agree because I love myself. But
Right.
when I started looking, when it was explained to me and looking at my pattern, and that pattern was I always put myself last
Yeah.
to accommodate other people.
Yes.
So the men that I have been attracting was literally doing just that. They were
Of
putting
course.
aside
Mhm.
and accommodating everybody else. So
Mhm.
I was attracting men that were literally reflecting how
Yes.
how I was treating my own self.
Absolutely.
When I saw that, I was like, my, and this is recently,
Yeah.
like the last 10 days, I recognized this. That right there
Yeah.
alone was like, okay, like, no.
Yeah.
So my spirit wanted something else,
Mhm.
but what I was literally attracting was it was like, wow, I have got to treat myself better.
Mhm.
So it's been
Mhm.
easier for me to start setting these boundaries because
Yes.
I want better. I
Yeah.
want to myself better. I really did not realize that I was treating myself bad.
Yes.
Did
Yeah.
not.
And that's the thing right there. Women don't realize that when you treat yourself poorly, men will treat you poorly because they like, well, if you're not gonna respect you, if you're not gonna treat you good,
Yeah.
why do I need to? I'm gonna do the bare minimum to get in there. Then once I'm in there, I'm gonna do what you do.
Your girlfriends will do it. Your employer will do it. Your
Say,
kids will.
say,
It's across the board. People will treat you how you are treating yourself, and that's
mm-hmm.
a good.
Yeah.
When you told me that, you along with another girlfriend, ah, it was definitely a revelation. It was
Yeah.
like, and when you started pointing out, proving it to me, because I didn't believe it, because
Mm-hmm.
I do love myself. I
Right.
say this, I'm an exceptionally intelligent person. I'm very beautiful.
Yes.
Uh, I'm able to articulate. I can be in any given genre or category. All
Yes. Yep.
that, I feel good about myself, but
Yeah.
my emotional health is in dire straits.
Yes.
And the proof of that is the type of men and other friends that I've been attracting. That's the evidence right there.
Yes.
So since I do believe that, and I believe in cognitive processing, I'm all of that.
Yes.
I done been to school. I know all of that. So now that I put all that education I have into play, everything that I'm teaching the group of women that I teach and train and do all that, I'm like, the very thing that I've been telling them to do, I have subconsciously not applied it to my own life. So
Exactly. Exactly.
now that you and again my girlfriend, other girlfriend have like literally listed the same exact thing without you guys even having a
Yeah.
conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you guys understand me fully and point it out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I can't help but be like, wow,
Right.
okay.
Right.
So now I feel, I know that I'm a lot better. I feel
Yes.
much better about myself.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, it's a slow process.
Yes.
Holidays are coming. I feel some kind of
Yes.
way, but I know that I'm slowly getting over that hump of
Right.
feeling the need to make some phone calls,
That's right. Mm-hmm.
to get that filled, or to, try to go back to school, even though I am going back to school because
Go
I
get you some sex, girl. Get your your sex education.
girl, I need to get. I have another certificate that, and that I want to get a cognitive behavior. Uh,
Yes. That's gonna
cert-
be bomb.
yeah, I want to do that. But that I'm fully aware that I'm not using that to cover up anything. That's for
Absolutely.
my business as
Yeah.
well. But I understand that I need to stay away from my male friends, my male companions that I have access to just chill.
Right.
And until I need to get myself together,
Yes.
and until then,
Yes.
I'm gonna just lay back and continue to grow and finally become whole because I've
That's
felt
right.
empty for so long.
Yes. Wow. You know what? That is a powerful, powerful testimony. And I'm proud of you. I'm going to just tell you that. Like, I'm proud of you. One thing that I love is that when I put energy in to somebody, it's almost like watering a flower and then watching it bloom. To me, it's like, it's so amazing. I even got goosebumps just talking about it because it's like, for a fact, you have affected that person's life in such a positive way, and that they're going to be able to turn it around and take
Absolutely.
back control of their life and live it authentically the way that it was meant to be from the jump. You are a gorgeous woman, smart. Like, listen, y'all. First of all, after we done with I'm gonna have to have Anya to tell y'all who she really is. Y'all slipping on her, y'all listen. We gonna talk about that in a second, but I'm gonna tell you something. To see you blooming, and then it's almost like girl, if I could get up and stand and do how I think it in my mind, like she took that door and boom, kicked it straight open. It was like, I'm here. I ain't playing with it. Ain't nothing. Listen, okay? She came back with a vengeance, and I'm telling y'all, like, she moved real fast. Of
Yeah,
course, there's
because once
still
you
work to do.
put pieces together, everything is before you. And my
Mhm.
pain, my discomfort and pain and sadness over not being in a relationship, that pain has finally superseded my logic.
Yes.
And now I don't want to go in that direction anymore. I
Yes.
was not that girl. I was always a girl. I'm always be in a relationship by
Yeah.
any there because I'm so emotionally needy.
Yeah.
But the pain of being in a relationship and still being sad because my love language is not being met, it's finally is the discomfort is too great.
Yeah.
I'd rather be by myself and heal.
Yeah.
You know, so and let me just say this for your viewers, for the ones that have not partaken of your services. This has not been an overnight thing. It takes my other girlfriend to tell you that she's been telling me this for over 14 years, you know, but just not believing it, But then when you have another girlfriend that's like literally saying the same thing, and these two people both of these girlfriends do not communicate on a daily basis. They do business together, but they're not talking about Anya. So
Right.
for both of them to come to me and tell me literally the same stuff, and then Honey coming on with her coffee with the coffee chat, I was like, good God, I got to do this. So I say that to the potential clients that if you are feeling some kind of way, you need to get some stuff out. You really don't understand why you are continuing to do what you're doing that has not served you well. I highly suggest to get your consultation with Venus and let her share with you what she thinks will help you. And I'm telling you, it's worth every dime. Literally. I mean, to get the
Yes.
peace of mind that you have. And if you ask yourself this question before we go, Venus, ask your
Okay.
clients or your potential viewers, if what you do and say in the end, if it doesn't give you the results that you want, it is time for change.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. So ask
Absolutely.
yourself that question.
Yes.
What you're doing and saying, if it's not yielding the results that you want, something has to change.
Right.
Venus is here to help you with that change.
Right.
So I highly recommend it. I highly suggest it, to get some healing, to feel whole. I feel so much more happier today. There's so much more details to the story. We won't bore
Yes.
you with it. But I have come, again, I am 56 years old. I have been married and divorced 3 times. I am not bitter about marriage. Venus can tell you I love the union of marriage. I don't want anybody to get divorced. I want you to work it out because I love the institution of marriage and I know what it means to God to do that. So will I get married again? I'm always open for that possibility. I don't know if it'll happen, but I know that I'm in a much better spot than what I was, and it's because of the counseling. I know it's
Yes.
fact. I know
Yes.
it's true.
Yes. And I appreciate that. I really do. We all know that, okay, this is not an overnight thing. And this is a lifelong journey too. Let me just say that. Because anytime it's not second nature to you, if it's not second nature, like breathing, then you already know that you're still not at that place. So there's
Mm,
always some maintenance that takes place. We talked about this on Coffee Chat last Monday night when we was talking about the healing process. There's coping, healing, and then there's recovery. I
yes.
feel like until you are out of that recovery room, then you're not safe. You got to always make sure that you
Yes.
take it easy. You have to stay in maintenance mode until if I
Yeah.
feel like after the recovery room, that's called second nature to me. That means that I could tell you, no, honey, that won't work for me. I can
Yeah.
tell you no and won't even bat an eye, won't feel no type of way. And I'm very good at saying no. It used to be a time, honey, be like, just like you said, I didn't want to say no. I was a people pleaser. Girl, and that's a
I was
disease.
afraid of losing friends or losing family members.
Girl, yes.
Why did I
Me
help my
too.
brother? And I had to tell you, well, because the year before, I had the same disagreement with another brother, and he's completely wiped me off his list of community. He's excommunicated me. So here it is, a year later, I'm helping a second brother, and to an extreme. And your question was, well, would you die if you didn't help him? No, I wouldn't die. But I had to share with you that, and I didn't realize this, but my fear was that if I don't help this brother, that he's going to excommunicate me too. Well, I have 4 siblings, and 2 of them are not talking to me or talking to the family when I'm included in that. And it was like, if I don't help this brother, then that'd be a 3rd sibling that I'm not in communication with. And I only got 1 left, and she's in Texas. It's like, what? So yeah, I helped them. But now I understand I need to set better boundaries.
That's right.
And I'm going to lose my brother out of my life, but you know what? If you're going to take it to this level, then maybe we shouldn't be in communication.
Right.
So I have to think about stuff like that. But initially, I'm always people pleasing because I don't want to lose people out of my life because what? I'm a people person.
Yeah. Well, see, here's my take on it too. I'm not about to lose me. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose you before I lose me. Okay, that's the way I'm gonna take it. Even when it comes, I have 2 children. We have not spoken about 4 years, right? And let me tell you something, honey. I love my kids with all of my heart, all of my heart. But the one thing that I'm never ever gonna do again is lose Venus. I'm not losing Venus for nobody's love. I refuse to do that.
I learned that. Yeah.
Right. I'm number 1. I'm number 2 outside of God, but I'm number 1. I'm the most important. My happiness is the most important because the thing is, I'm going to take care of Venus first, and then I'm going to see what I got left. When I thought whatever I got left over, I'm going to have to distribute it, accordingly. Not everybody going to get some. Yeah. And that's okay. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a lesson that I'm slowly but surely picking up. Because again, my default is always about, how it's going to affect, how my decisions are going to affect somebody else.
Absolutely.
And because I've been doing this for so long. So I'm slowly but surely recognizing that that's secondary. I need to question, how was my decision going to affect me?
That's boom. Yeah. That's it. And you know what? People can call it what they want to. Yeah. People can call it what they want to. If you want to call it selfish, boo-boo, call it selfish. I don't care what you call it, right? Nowadays, everybody want to use that little cute term, self-care. Okay, yeah, it is self-care. But let me tell you something. It is okay to be selfish at times when it comes to you. It's okay.
Mental health is more important than somebody else. So I agree. It's a little challenging. I've said no, not for some big things, but for some small things. And it felt, you said, how did it feel? And I said, it felt a little different. It's a little uncomfortable, because the no is a no because I cannot do something is different than a no that I can do it, but I choose not to.
Right.
So the no's that I say that where I can do it, but I choose not to, those are harder.
Yeah.
So, but I have been doing it, and the individuals that I've said no to have been, oh, okay. And I'm like, wow, it's not that bad,
Right.
So I'm learning, and I appreciate the patience.
Yeah.
The assignments are challenging, but here it is 10 days later, and I feel like I'm a different person. I really do. I feel great.
And you keep pushing. And I noticed too that you have actually just hit the ground running. Your business, you about to relaunch your business. I want you to tell everybody what your business is. People don't even know. I got gold sitting right here. Tell them what your business is, boo. Well, and how they can reach you.
It really is irony, but the business is called the Chrysalis Transformation. Transforming minds to a higher consciousness. Chrysalis is the pupa that the butterfly or the caterpillar is in just before it emerges as a butterfly. So I am in the business of helping individuals, businesses, small businesses, re-entry, foster home individuals, women shelters, men transitional homes, into transforming their cognitive processing. And my theory is, once they recognize who they are, how they operate, how they think, their learning styles, their communication styles, if you know who you are and how you operate, then you are better positioned to be able to operate at optimal function. So that's
Absolutely.
what we do at the Chrysalis Transformation. And that's how we treat people. And again, if you remember earlier, I said the irony is I've been teaching and training these classes for years and had no idea that I wasn't making that stuff applicable to myself, which was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the business of helping people. And
Every coach need a coach.
yeah.
Every coach need a coach. But you also have a couple of other legs to your business too.
Oh yes. Well, my master's is in public administration, and another thing I do is I help people put their not-for-profits together or help them manage it.
Yes.
I know that pretty well, so I can help you put it together, send you the documents, talk you through it, or not talk you through it. It's up to you. But I help people kind of get that done, communicate with the Secretary of State, things like that. So, yeah, write grants.
Yeah.
It's my website is the chrysalistransformation.org, so you're welcome to go there and
we'll go back and put that in the comments.
Yeah.
We'll go back and put that in the comments.
We work with small businesses, big businesses, individuals. Venus is now a part of my team, so if you need if you happen to come to my page and find out that you need some coaching, you will be referred to her because she's one of my coaches. I have other people. So yeah, just go to the website, check it out. And if I could assist you or direct you, then that's what we do.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here for a Testimonial Saturday, you guys. Listen, this has been thebomb.com. I love it when I have clients tell me, you have changed my life. That's what I live for. That's what I live for. And let me tell you, child, if I could do it for free, I would do it for absolute free.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. But right now, hey, listen, get on board. You guys, the holidays is coming up. I know for a lot of you, this is a bad time of year. And so I do have some sales that's going on with my services. We have our academy that's going down, and you guys listen, I have a free 99 workshop that is coming up on November 7th at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and it will be via Zoom. I'll put the information in the link in the thread so that you guys can go over and get your tickets from Eventbrite. Get them. I'm telling you, listen, I'm only going to offer this free workshop only one time in 12 months. It's a workshop that is going to make you go deep. It's gonna you're really gonna benefit from it. You're really gonna benefit from it. And so I'm gonna make sure I put the link in there so that you guys can go over and get your tickets to that. We have some other stuff coming up. Me and Anya, we're actually working on a workshop for January, the end of January, start around the end of January, and it's going to be about the 5 love languages.
You don't want to miss it,
honey, it's going to be deep. Yes, the 5 love languages, and this has really nothing to do with man, woman, marriages and things like it do, but it's not just about just that. This is about relationship.
Yes.
Period. Work, family, friends, husband, wife, dog, cat. No, I'm just joking. But it's going to be bomb. It's going to be amazing, y'all. So, Anya, I really appreciate you, boo. I really do. Thank you for, jumping on.
We got all this natural sun, but thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, DM Venus, or you can DM me. My life is literally an open book. I'm not ashamed about anything that I have done because everything has got me to where I am. I'm very confident in who I am now. And again, buy her journals as well. Just a little plug. If you're not ready for the counseling, or if you're in counseling or therapy, journaling, that was one of the assignments that she gave me, is to journal. And I have definitely journaled, and that has definitely helped me get to where I am as well. So she has journals that she has for sale as well, or just write it down whether you get her journal or not. Journal.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Sugar Plums. I guess I'll be talking to you soon. You guys have the bombs. Have the most amazing Saturday out. And happy Sweetest Day. I know Californians, y'all don't celebrate it, but anyway, happy Sweetest Day.
Okay.
Bye, you guys.